I was having a conversation with a friend a while back about the cost of living in New York. The ridiculous cost of rent for apartments so small they could probably be considered shoeboxes. I wasn't about to correct him, of course. New York has historically been one of the most expensive cities to live in the world, let alone the United States. At some point in the conversation I said, it'd be great if you could just live and not worry about rent at all. To which he replied, there's no way to live somewhere without paying rent, especially not in New York. And just like that, I had to prove him wrong. In the end, we came to an agreement. If I could prove to him that there were ways to live in New York, and by extension other expensive cities, for free, then he would have to give me $10,000. If I couldn't, I'd have to give him my car. Oh, and I had until the end of the week to show him my proof. Seeing that I really liked my car, and it was already Wednesday, I had less than 48 hours to win our bet. So, it was time to get to work. To make a solid argument, I'd have to present my choices with pros and cons. That wasn't a specific condition of the bet, but it just made sense. I really wanted that 10k. The first method of rent-free living I considered was van life. Van life isn't really specific to a particular area because it's more of a nomadic lifestyle, mostly for people that are interested in seeing the world rather than living in a single city. Most van lifers will tell you that they decided to join the lifestyle for the freedom it grants them. Another big plus is the absence of rent and utility bills. On the other hand, van life comes with a distinct lack of privacy and space, which can be challenging to get used to. Not to mention the money you'll have to invest in finding a vehicle suitable for your needs, plus converting it into your home. After researching van life and watching some interviews, I came to the conclusion that it looks like a cool way to live, but most people probably don't want to live like that. So, the next approach to rent-free New York living I found was property management. Managing properties isn't the first thing that would come to mind when you're thinking about living rent-free, is it? But what you probably don't know is that property managers will be provided with a residence on the property and they're usually rent-free. If you're good with your hands, then this option would be perfect for you. The downside is that you'll have to be responsible for the well-being of the property 24/7, and you might have to deal with narcissistic Karens that feel like they own the place. Another problem is that you're not guaranteed to get a rent-free unit as a property manager. At this point in my research, I felt like these two options were both solid, but they felt like technicalities in a way. After all, van lifers can travel all over the country, so it's more like they live rent-free anywhere, not just New York. And property management isn't a surefire way to a rent-free property. So, with about 22 hours left, I decided to look for some more long-term ways to live in the Big Apple with no rent whatsoever. What I found next was a gold mine. What do you know about house hacking? The financially literate will tell you that house hacking is a strategy to get into the real estate industry. In layman's terms, house hacking is what the name suggests, a way for you to get a free house. To start with, you have to put down some money on the home you want. In an ideal situation, you'll have enough money for a 20% deposit. But if you're looking to live rent-free, you're probably not in a position to put 20% down on a home. But here's the good news. Once you have around 5% of the total value of a home, you'll qualify for a federal housing loan to cover the rest. After you secure the house, that's when the hacking comes in. Renting out your spare rooms will usually cover your mortgage payments, therefore allowing you to live in the home for free. Well, except for utilities. I thought this was a great idea to try it for myself, not gonna lie. On the other hand, if you're not comfortable with long-term renters in your home, Airbnb is another avenue you can go down. New York in particular has high costs for short-term stays. This can mean anybody from businessmen to tourists visiting the Big Apple. So, this means that there will always be people willing to stay once your space is reasonably priced. I had a couple of hours left before I had to meet up with my friend, but with the information I found, I was pretty confident I would win the bet. Before I made my way to our meeting spot, I got a message from him. Hope you're ready to hand over your car, man. But little did he know, he was about to be out 10k. I was having a conversation with a friend